Hopefully, my focus comes back into focus. If not, we're going to have an issue here. Huh. Okay, so it was working right before I hit live. All right, so we're going to try to not move so much. All right, so welcome everybody. Today we're looking at virtual assistants. There's a lot of talk about virtual assistants because we're trying to magnify our time, really want to make sure that we are being very efficient with the time and also with the budget that we have, every single one of us. So I'm going to share with you the disciplines and the step-by-step process on hiring your first virtual assistant. And I'm going to show you a workflow that's going to help you in making that exchange of information, making that task exchange of what needs to happen. How do you use virtual assistants? Hey, Osias, you're in the right place. You're in the right place because that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to look at how to hire your first virtual assistant, and whether it's your first or your 10th, this is gonna work for you. The structure is going to be the same thing, except now you need to multiply it by 5, by 10, however many virtual assistants you need. And the disciplines are in the foundational items are all the same. Hey, Osias. Hey, that ad is crushing it. So I got to reach out to you. I just landed back in the States. So that ad that we're running is absolutely crushing it. So super excited to talk about that with you. Good afternoon. Great topic. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let's get right into it. So virtual assistants. What are virtual assistants? We're going to go very, very quickly here because I think most of you have an understanding, but let's just level set the live stream for a quick second. Virtual assistants is basically somebody helping you out that is in a different location. So we're very accustomed to brick and mortar where we go to the office and we see somebody and we can communicate face to face. That is, that's basically not virtual. So that's what we're accustomed to. But virtual assistants, it can be anywhere. You can work with somebody from China, from the Philippines, from India, from Mexico, from South America, from Canada, from somebody in another state. So somebody that is not in the same location as you, that is a virtual assistant, or virtual period. Doesn't even have to be an assistant. Somebody that works remotely is another way of saying it. So with real estate virtual assistants, there's different tasks that you can share with them, and we'll talk about the task here in a little bit. But one of the major things that we need to understand or really get answered is one of the questions that comes up all of the time. What do they do? What do virtual assistants do? Well, every business is different, but with that being said, there's some things that a virtual assistant should be able to help you out with. If you're starting out with virtual assistants, a virtual assistant of any kind, I firmly believe that that first virtual assistant that you introduce into your business, especially if this is your first hire, they need to help you generate revenue. And they need to help you generate revenue as closely as directly as possible. And I'll talk about directly versus indirectly, but basically your first virtual assistant, I am a firm believer, should be able to help you generate revenue as directly as possible. So what does that mean? That means that whenever you hire your first virtual assistant, they should be able to set appointments for you. They should be able to make a customer service outreach. They should be able to prospect for you. And again, this is my personal belief. You may be thinking, well, that's not the need that I have right now. Okay, awesome. I'll grant you that. But just giving you my belief system. So especially with your first VA. If we're talking about your 10th VA, then your needs are different, right? So we're talking about the first VA. The first hire that you have, I firmly believe should be able to help you generate revenue, income in the most direct way possible. Now, second to that, if that is not possible, if you are doing all the follow-up, if you're doing all the sales calls, if you're doing all the appointment setting, that's awesome. That's great. There's no one that's going to be more effective than you in your business than you. So the second thing that I believe should happen would be it should, when it comes to hiring a virtual assistant, they should be able to save you time, and in an indirect way, they're helping you generate revenue. I hope that kind of makes sense, because I know I went a little bit off the wall there. But the first thing that they should be able to do is help you generate revenue in the most direct way possible. Secondary, they should be able to save you time at the bare minimum. If not, then if they're not making you revenue, and if they're not saving you time and causing you more work, you you are in trouble. Javier Vidania, yeah, I expose a lot of different things, Javier. That's been the word of my last thumbnails. I think they've, like, of the five, I think the last three thumbnails have had exposed in them. So that's just my that's just what's trending in my mind, I guess. But Javier, good to see you. Go check out his channel, by the way. He's got over 100,000 subscribers, and he's a good friend, business partner, and a mentor in many ways. So check him out. So that's what I firmly believe. When you're talking about what they do, number one, they should be able to generate you money as closely as possible to that, or save you time. Now, when we're talking about what they should be doing in terms of task and like getting molecular with it, they can do email managing. They could do calendar management. They could send out transaction documents. So in a way, they could be transaction coordinators. You just have to be careful with your real estate commission, and making sure that they're not acting in the capacity as a real estate agent. But they can certainly send out e-signatures. They can follow up with individuals as a courtesy call. They can inform your clients of where they are in the transaction. They should be able to do a lot of that for you. So I wasn't planning to do this, but it kind of makes sense. So with my real estate team, I do have, I think it's like 21 tasks that your real estate VA should do for you. I have that for my team, and I wasn't prepared to do this here. So if you're interested in that, if the 21 tasks, if that's helpful to you, then just email admin@JaimeResendiz.com, which one of my VAs will get a hold of that and make that document. You know what? I need to write that down, because I did not plan to do that. So I gotta who do I want to do that? Let her know. Okay, that's just a verbal. That's just a verbal thing. How do you establish a payment for services? Ooh, what a great question. How do you establish a payment for services? All right, so let me see where do I want to take that. How do you establish a payment for services? I can take it several different ways. If I answer that incorrectly, oh, I missed one. My next video, Jaime's exposed videos exposed. That would be awesome. I'd watch it. I'd do a copyright claim on you though, Javier. So back to the question at hand. How do you establish a payment for services? If the question is how much do you determine to pay somebody, it's going to really depend. If you were talking, let's break things up into tasks, what needs to happen. If you're talking about tasks that don't really require, this can sound so bad, but just to articulate the point, doesn't require too much thinking too much critical thinking outside of the box, then that's not going to necessarily be too expensive for you. That could be anywhere from $3 to like $9, depending on where you get your virtual assistant from. Some big players in the space are Mexico. Really, pretty much anywhere in South America, you have some big. When I say players in the space, I mean countries that specialize in remote work. India does produces a lot of virtual assistants that do some incredible work. The Philippines, that's actually where I would say 80% of my virtual assistants are from the Philippines. The others are from South America. That's more for phone. It just works better for me. Let's see. I have some copywriters from the States. So all over the board. It depends on the task, how much you want to pay for them, how much you want to pay them. If you're talking about a copywriter, as an example, somebody that writes critically for you in your business, then you can expect to pay somebody anywhere from $15 to $40. Yeah, mine's roughly in the high 20s right now. I'm not going to give exactly how much I pay her right now, but it's in the high 20s, and she's my blogger. She's the one that does all my blogging. So if you go to jaimeresendiz.com/blog, you can see all of her writing, because I've yet to write something there for myself. Should a new agent hire a VA if they can produce income for you? Absolutely. And that's where we kind of get back into that first thing. I believe that they should help you produce revenue as quickly as possible, especially if this is your first one, because you are not only responsible for yourself now, you're responsible for somebody else's livelihood. So back in the day, back when I wasn't a part of a startup, if you will, so I was already in a company that was on the climb. Then we grew from 15 employees to 120 something employees within a span of about 12 months. So we grew extremely rapidly. So I was the chief operating officer there, and I interviewed so many different people. I interviewed a lot of people because I needed to hire over 100 people at once, or within those 12 months. But with that, the reason I bring that up is because I don't take anybody else's, either if they're working for me from a W-2 perspective or a 1099 perspective, or partner up with me at my brokerage. I don't take any of that lightly. I, in a way, am responsible for that other individual to the best of my ability, because they are trusting me to help them in some capacity, whether that's lead generation, whether that's marketing, whether that's leadership, whether that's sales, whether that's whatever. So, long-winded answer, sorry. You can send website for real estate affiliate. Okay. You can send websites for real estate affiliate. Can you expand on that? I'm not sure I get that. All right, so let's get back on track. When it comes to the tasks, here's a very, very simple way to get going with your virtual assistants. You need to create 2 lists, whether that's on an Excel sheet, whether that's you writing this down, whether that's you texting this to yourself. Create 2 lists. One is going to be documenting what you do right now. What do you do on Mondays? What do you do on Tuesdays? What do you do on Wednesdays? What do you do on Fridays? What do you do during those days? Are you sending email newsletters? Are you writing a blog? Are you recording a video? Are you doing whatever? Write everything that you're doing right now. All right. So I want you to have that list ready to go. Then I want you to create a list of what you wish you were doing, right? You attend a lot of masterminds. You watch a lot of videos, a lot of them probably, hopefully here in this YouTube channel that you're already subscribed to. You watch a lot of information, and that implementation can kind of go by the wayside. It's not a fault that you have or anything like that. It's just there's so much information coming at you that you still need to do family life. You still need to do a work life. You still need to do a lot of different things that physically impede you from taking action in the 24 hours. So think of what you wish was happening in your business, whether that's posting daily on Instagram, whether that's getting started on YouTube, whether that's sending out cold emails, whether that's cold calling, whether that's returning the calls on all of the leads that are coming in. Whatever it happens to be that you're failing on, you need to create that list, right? So once you create those 2 lists, here's how you prioritize it. You need to identify which of these things right here, the list that you let's do this, the list that you are already doing, the list that you wish that you were doing, and see which are actually revenue generators for you, and categorize them as such. So which ones will actually bring me income, and then also look at the ones that are going to save you time. So right there's that. I wish that every virtual assistant, that every one of you that you, if this is your first virtual assistant, wish that you would find something that will generate you income and have a virtual assistant help you with that. But I realize and recognize that that's not going to be the case always. So go through your list. So create that list of what you're doing right now, and create the list of what you wish that you were doing. Identify those revenue generating activities, and make those your priority, that you're going to outsource to somebody else, that you're going to bring in somebody to help you be consistent with that. Because at the end of the day, this is not only designed to make you money and save you time and all that fun stuff, but now somebody else is incentivized to be consistent for you. It's all employment is, right? So it's, you can't do it, or you're unwilling to do it, or for some reason it's not getting done, whether that's returning the calls for all of your leads, you recognize that that's not happening. Well, now you can pay somebody that you can hold accountable for. That is their job, right? Again, it's no different than employing anybody. So I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. It's just something that we don't always articulate and process when we're in solopreneur mode or in real estate mode, that we just look at ways to get everything done without really recognizing that there could be a system that we can implement, or there could be somebody else that I can introduce to my team to operate business as we're growing. How to educate real estate agents for sell more houses through our service or funnel through our service. How to educate real estate agents for sell more houses through our service or funnel. Malik, I don't know what the question is. How to educate. That's not necessarily real estate, virtual real estate related. So if you want to make it more virtual assistant related, I will absolutely address that all day long. All right, so when it comes to websites that will give you virtual assistants or give you access to virtual assistants, they're everywhere. You have Upwork, you have Freelancer, you have Fiverr. My preferred one, which is, well, in this one, it's if you just go to Jaime@resendiz.com/VA, it'll direct you right to my favorite one. That way you see it there. The reason I like that one is because it's a one-time fee per month. I don't have to pay an override. I don't have to pay an additional expense. Once I hire my virtual assistant, I just pay them via PayPal, and there's no upcharge. Upwork, there will be an upcharge. Freelancer, there will be an upcharge. Fiverr, there will be an upcharge, or let's just call it a service fee. It's not necessarily an upcharge. These platforms need to make money. So it's kind of like if you're familiar with Indeed, you have a pay structure with Indeed. So it's not Indeed, by the way, but there's virtual assistants everywhere, and you can post it on social media as well. Hey, I need a virtual assistant, and there's a lot of people that we're gonna absolutely reach out to you, whether that's local. When I say local, I mean the United States, regardless of the state that you're in, or if you're talking abroad. Again, India is a big market for this. Philippines is a big market for this. South America is a big market for this. And what I really like about working with those abroad is you get such high quality work. It's unreal. It's unreal because you can have some seasoned veterans that have worked for Google, that have worked for Apple, that have worked for all these major conglomerates that actually teach you how to run your business. My first VAs, they were smart. They helped me implement a lot of different things that I hadn't even considered. So they were really good. Great info, Jaime. I need to get a VA once my channel grows up. Yo, I dig it, Warren. Can you repeat the one you use? Yeah, so it's Jaime@resendiz.com/VA. So the reason, and I'll share why I share it that way, because right now this is the best one that I have found. And for me, whenever it comes to the one that I'm presently using, since I get introduced to so many different services that either reach out to me directly or I find out that are actually better, as opposed to going to the videos where I recommended a certain company, I just decided I can just do redirects now, what my favorite platforms are at this point in time. So if I find a better platform, then I'll go with that. I'll give you an example. I used to promote, and when I say promote, I would just recommend a company called Videos that helped with video making. And then I found a better website, which was invideo.io. So now it just redirects to that platform. All right, so that's a little bit about the websites. Don't get mired down on which website to use to find a VA. Just know that there's a lot of services out there that will help you get the VAs. Now, the key here when it comes to hiring somebody is hire multiple people for the same task starting out. So if you want a video editor, hire 3 video editors at once and send them the same project. If you're looking for a virtual assistant to manage your calendar, or let's just manage your, let's just say your social media. That one's going to be a little bit harder to pull off. So you might want to give one the Instagram. You might want to give another one the Facebook. But the reason I suggest that you hire multiple VAs at once is because time is very valuable to you. And while you may be thinking, well, Jaime, I don't want to spend 3 times the cost to edit one video. Well, this is going to give you options, and you don't have to wait one week or 2 weeks for you to figure out, hey, this VA isn't working. I'd much rather you spend, yes, it's going to cost you 3 times as much for this one video, if you will. So if you send out a video to a video editor, and after 2 weeks it doesn't work out, well, guess what? You have to reset the counter and have to do that video all over again anyway with the new VA. So I'd much rather you invest up front for 3 editors all at once, and then find out which one's going to work for you. So you're going to get your answer in 2 weeks, because you're going to find one was okay, one was just bad, one was good enough to get you moving forward, and you go with that person. So you're bending time to really make it work for you. Yeah, sure. So JaimeResendiz.com/VA. So Victor A. So that'll redirect you to the one that I'm using. So that's a big pro tip right there. Hire multiple individuals at once, because time is going to be so valuable for you, especially as a solopreneur or as you're building your business. And this is something that anytime I need to go back to the well as the business expands, whether I'm looking to hire somebody to do somebody else to hire some ads, media buyers. So as I'm looking at hire media buyers, I hire multiple at once just to see which one's going to be the better fit for my business. So I'll typically go out to market whenever I'm trying to fill out one position. I'll either use 3 people or 5 virtual assistants at once, depending on how critical that task is or that role is for me. So if I was looking for an operations manager at this point, then I would look at several individuals. Now, whenever I am hiring specifically, just giving you some pointers on hiring specifically, whenever you're having that conversation back and forth, if you post a job, let's just say you need a virtual assistant for your real estate business, post the task that you need up front. Make that post and make it very clear. I need somebody to edit my videos, and I will be making 3 videos every single week, and I want a turnaround time of 24 hours, whatever it happens to be. So make it very specific. And then when you have, depends on which platform you're using to post this gig. Once people are replying back, make sure that you give specific instruction on how to reply back. As example, if you're getting a video editor, say, hey, I need you to submit your 3 favorite videos that you've edited of all time. And then once you see people responding back to you and they don't follow your instructions, then that's a great way for you to discount those applications. I know it sounds callous, but at the end of the day, if they cannot follow the instructions when they're not getting paid, it's very difficult for them to turn over a new leaf when they are getting paid. So it gives you, that leaves clues. Success leaves clues, and so does failure. So just kind of giving you my take on that. How to get more leads in real estate. Number 1 way, I would say YouTube. Great question. I would say YouTube. So that's what happens when you're looking at, or that's what I suggest when you're hiring a VA. All right, so I do have an appointment coming up, so I will make this next part very, very simple for you to use. So let me share my screen. I want to show you how I would share the wrong screen. I'm going to share with you how this actually works and how this would work in practice. Forget about everything that you see here. Let me see if right there. Forget of everything that you see here. This is just my workflow for my YouTube videos. Forget that title or whatnot. So what I would do when it comes to virtual assistants, to do, and then here I would go doing, And then here I would go for review. And then here I would do revisions. And then here I would do complete. And then I would just delete this. All right, so you don't need anything more different than this. So this is Trello. And if you want to use Trello, the link is down below so you can get your account. And that is an affiliate link, by the way. When it comes to Trello, you can use Asana, you can use anything that you want, really, any project management tool. But I strongly suggest that you get one. Doesn't matter which, just get one. Because now you can send images, now you can send videos, now you can send everything like text all in one place. So if I was gonna do, let's just say social media management, I would put that there. And the beauty of this is I can put a description on what I want. So manage social media, and then I'll put IG, pass, and then login. Facebook, pass, and then login. All right, so I would put all my notes in one place. If I had some snapshots of what I wanted to be done, as an example, if I wanted to mirror somebody else's social media, then I would just put snapshots. And as an example, if I wanted to do this, if this was something that I liked, I would just copy it to clipboard and then I would paste it here. So all the communication is in one place and I'm giving the instructions. Now, if it's a bit more detailed and I need somebody to see exactly my vision that I want, then I would just do a brief recording. There's a lot of free software that will allow you to record. I actually do not use a free one. It's called Ecamm Live. That's what I'm using right now. Whenever I'm recording tutorials, instead of going live with what you're seeing right now, I just hit record and I record a little brief how to do something, so then people can, so the virtual assistants that are part of this board, part of this workflow, can see exactly what I want. Can see exactly how I want to post on Facebook, how I want to post on Instagram, how I want videos edited, how I want people, how I want them to upload my videos and manage all of my YouTube channels. So I'm very specific here. Now, if this is a repetitive task that I know will come up and isn't going to change all that much, then I'm going to create a checklist. Video upload. So let's just say I'm going to create a weekly video on YouTube. So I would put record. I'll just be very general here for the sake of time. That's going to be me. Once I record, then it's edit. That's going to be editor. And then once I go finalize, that's going to be me. So I'm going to record it, and then the editor's going to take it and edit it, and then they're going to finalize it. I'm going to finalize it, see if there's anything that needs to be done. Upload, and then that's going to be another VA actually in my business. So they're going to upload it, and then just go through the checklist. Now, if I want to go even more molecular, which I don't have time to show you the other card right now, but if I want to go even more molecular, then I would actually break this up. So I would create another checklist, upload. I'll put that real quick so you kind of see it. And I would say rename file. And then here I would say update description. And then I would put upload thumbnail. Then I would put add in cards. And then I would put add tags. And this is all for YouTube, by the way. So these are all the different things that they now have a checklist of everything that they need to complete, so they have a full understanding of what needs to happen. So the easiest way for you to pass a task on to somebody else is through a project management tool. You don't have to use Trello. This is something that you can use if you'd like. You can use Asana, you can use Monday.com, you can use Basecamp, but at this point, I would actually suggest nothing else. than using a project management tool, because now you don't have to use Skype. You don't have to email somebody. You don't have to start all over. The moment that you train somebody to upload a video for you or manage social media for you, this is a living record. This is a living SOP, standard operating procedure, that in the event that the virtual assistant that you hired does not work out, which will happen, it happens to everybody. There's a reason that we try to hire 3 at once, or bring 3 people at once to find the one that's going to work with us. The reason, that's why we do it, because we know that at least one of them should pay off. It's very rare that none of them pay off for you. So this is a living and breathing SOP that now you can just copy it and send it to every single workflow so they know what to do. And the moment that in the event that they don't work out and you have to hire somebody else, well, you don't have to train somebody else all over again. You now have the SOP where you give them the entire blueprint, because you already recorded a video sharing exactly how to do it. You already put the description of what you needed done. You have the checklist of everything that you need to accomplish. Now they just need to implement. And by you having a project management system like this, you can see when they're working, you can see when they're completing, you can review it, and you can send over for revisions, and you can mark it as complete. So every single virtual assistant that I have has their own individual board. It's very rare that I include multiple VAs in one board. I have it in some, but it's rare. It's rare that I include everyone in one, because for several reasons, but the primary one is this is a great visual aid for me to see how much workflow is or how much work is being produced, and also gives me an understanding of, hey, maybe I am leaning too much on this individual for this part of the business. Maybe I need to break this up. So that way it's a good that way you see what's going on in your business, so you can make decisions a lot quicker. Folks, this was a longer video than I expected, so I am late for my meeting with Franco. So I'm signing off right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment down below. And if I can be of service in any way, shape, or form, I would absolutely love to do it. If you'd like to see a more detailed breakdown on virtual assistants, happy to do so. Just let me know. Outside of that, make it a